This is Toby. Today I will show you how to add a trading stop loss to any expert advisor in mql5, and in the end of the video we will also do a backtest to see if we can improve our strategy with a trading stop loss. Okay, let's go. Okay, but before we start coding, I just want to show you the basic idea of a trading stop loss here on the chart. So let's say we enter a position, maybe right here, and our initial stop loss is somewhere around here. And now as the price goes in our direction, we trail the stop loss behind the price, always in the same distance. And if the price comes back again, of course the stop loss stays in place. And as price goes further in our direction, we trail our stop loss. And of course at some point, price will reverse basically, and we will get stopped out, for example, right here in this case. So the basic idea is to profit from big trends in the market and get out of the position when the trend comes to an end. Okay, so let's switch to meta editor and we start coding. Okay, so here we are in the meta editor, and as I said at the beginning, you can use any expert advisor to add a trading stop loss. But for this video, I will use the time range EA with the dynamic lot size. We coded in the last video. So I will just open this file and save it as a new expert advisor. And let's just name it trailing stop loss. Save, compile. And now we can add a trading stop loss to this expert advisor. Okay, so the first step is to add another input for the trading stop loss. So we can go all the way up to our input section here. And here we have the input for the stop loss. And now we will just add another input, this time of type Boolean. So just a true or false input. And we call it input stop loss trailing stop loss, or just trading. And the default value will be set to false, so no trading stop loss. And we also add a comment here, just trading stop loss. And here we can activate the trading stop loss. Okay, let's compile. And if we switch to the MetaTrader platform, let's open up the tester here. And let's select our expert advisor. So this time dynamic lots trailing stop loss. And we should be able to see, if we switch to the input tab here, our new input trading stop loss. And we can switch that from false to true. Okay, so let's go back to meta editor. And the next step will be to write the actual function that will trail our stop loss. So we can go down to the order of the functions, doesn't really matter, but let's write the function here before the closed position function. So we will add a comment, update stop loss, and we also name the function like update stop loss. We don't need any parameters for the function, and just open the body, close it again, and we should be able to compile. So now the first step here inside this function, we will just check if we have a trading stop loss, if we want a trading stop loss, and if we have a stop loss active. Because if we take a look here, we can have a stop loss of 0, which means no stop loss. So we just check if we have a stop loss and if we want a trading stop loss. So we write a comment, maybe return if no stop loss, or fixed stop loss. And now we write a simple if statement. If our input stop loss is 0, or our input stop loss trailing is false. In this case, we don't need to check for open positions and take care of the trailing stop loss. We just can return for this function here. Okay, let's compile. Okay, nice. Okay, now what we have to do is to loop through the open positions. So we can copy this code maybe from the count open positions function here. So I will just copy this section here, or maybe the whole for loop, and paste it in our function here. Now we will add a comment here, loop open positions, and this is fine. We get the total open positions. We loop and we count down. We get a ticket. We check if the ticket is greater than 0. If not, we return this message and return. And of course, this is a void function, so we cannot return any numbers. So we just return. We select the position with the ticket. Again, we just return if this fails. Then we get the magic number of the position. And again, just return. And then we check for the magic number. And here, instead of just counting the positions, of course, we need a little bit more code here inside this if statement. So let's compile. And we have no warnings, no errors. Perfect. Okay, so with this if statement here, we just make sure that the currently selected position belongs to our expert advisor. And now we need to get a few more variables of the position. So the first thing we need is the type of the position, if it was a buy position or if the open position is a sell position. So that's right, get type. And now we just declare a variable, a long variable called type. And we use, again, a if statement to get the position type. So position get integer. And here position type. And the result of this call will be stored in our variable type. And if this call here fails, we also want to return a message maybe. So we can just use something like this, just a simple print statement, failed to get position type in this case, and we return. Okay. Next, we also need to get the current stop loss and take profit of the position. So we can just copy this because it's pretty similar. So get stop loss and take profit. Maybe get current stop loss and take profit. So of course we need two variables here. Current stop loss and also current take profit. So let's use this current stop loss variable here. And we need to change this to get, because this time it's of course a double value. So we need to use the position get double function and here position stop loss. Failed to get position stop loss, return. And we do the same here for the take profit. So here we change this to position take profit and we use our current take profit variable here and fail to get position take profit. Okay, so now we have the type of the position, we have the current stop loss and take profit value of the position, and let's compile real quick. So yeah, no warnings, no errors, perfect. And now we can calculate a new stop loss and modify the position. Okay, so let's write another comment down here. Calculate stop loss. And in order to calculate the stop loss, we first of all need the current price of our symbol. So we just declare a variable, double current price here. And we will set the current price depending on the type of position. So if the type is equal to position type buy, for example, then we want to set the current price to the bid price. So we can use our last tick dot bid here, and else if the type is a type sell, then we want to set the current price to the last tick dot ask. Because for a sell position, of course, the ask price is important for the stop loss and take profit. Okay, and then we need another variable here. This will be just a simple integer, and let's call it n. And this will just be a multiplier, basically. But we also set this depending on the position type. So if it's a buy position, we set it to 1. If it's a sell position, we set it to -1. And yeah, you will see how we use that multiplier in a few seconds. So now we can calculate a new stop loss. So we also declare a double variable called new stop loss. And we can just write normalized double. We can use the current price. And now we subtract. And here we just write our range dot high minus range dot low. Because as you may remember, for this expert advisor, we use the range span for the stop loss. So we have the stop loss is a percentage of the range. So here we just, again, get the current range span and we multiply it by our input stop loss. And of course, this is a percentage. So we also need to multiply it by 0.01. And now we will use our multiplier here. Just write multiply by n. We normalize this whole price by the amount of digits for our current symbol. And this should calculate our stop loss for a buy and a sell position. Because if you take a look here, if we have a buy position, we just multiply here by 1. So we subtract the distance here from the current price. So our stop loss is below the current price, which is correct for a buy position. If we have a sell position here, if this type is position type sell, this multiplier here is set to -1. And then we have a negative distance here. And with this minus here, of course, we will add the distance to the current price. So it's above the current price for a sell position, which is also what we want. And then we just normalize the price we get here by the digits of the current symbol. Yeah, we're missing a bracket here. So maybe here, range high minus range low. We calculate this first and then we multiply it. Okay, this should compile. And we can see we have no warnings, no errors. And now we have our new stop loss calculated. And the next step is to modify the position with this new stop loss. Okay, but before we modify the position, let me just scroll down a little bit. We need to check if the new stop loss value here is a different value than our current stop loss value of the position. Because if we just modify the position with the same stop loss value, we will get an error from the trade server. So that is something we need to avoid. So we can just write another comment here. Check if new stop loss is closer to current price than existing stop loss. And here we can just write a simple if statement and we check if the new stop loss multiplied by our n multiplicator here is less than the current stop loss and again multiplied by n. In this case, we don't need a new stop loss. And also we want to check if the new stop loss is too close to the old stop loss. In this case, we also want to just continue with the next position. So we can write normalized double, and here we can use the absolute function here. to get the absolute value of the difference from the new stop loss minus current stop loss. We normalize this by the digits of the symbol. And if this number here, this value is less than the point value, we also want to just continue with the next position, and we don't want to modify the stop loss. So here inside this if body, we can just write a simple print statement just now to test this if statement. No new. And we also want to write here, continue with the next position. So this will just go all the way back to the for loop, and we will process the next position. So we don't want to return here, because here this is a unexpected error basically, and here we want to return, but here we will just continue with the next position. Okay, now we can compile. Before we can modify the position, we need to do one more check, because some brokers have a stop level, so you cannot set the stop loss too close to the current price. So we can just write another comment here, check for stop level. And first of all, we need to get this stop level. So this will be a variable of type long. And we will use the symbol info integer function. And of course, the current symbol and symbol, I think it's trade. Yeah, trade stops level. And now we can use a simple if statement here. First of all, to check if this level is not equal to 0. So if our broker has a stop level. And now we can get the absolute value from our current price and the new stop loss. And if this is less or equal to the level multiplied by the point value of the symbol, in this case, we just want to continue with the next position. So we can write a print statement here. New stop loss inside stop level. And we also continue. Of course, if our broker does not have a stop level, we would never get into this if statement here. Okay, let's compile. And now we can finally modify the position to set a new stop loss. So we just write another comment. Modify position with new stop loss. And now we can just use our trade object. Trade dot position modify. We can use our ticket from up here. So ticket, the new stop loss we have calculated here. And this function also wants the take profit. So that's why we get the current take profit here. So now we can use it in this function call here, current take profit. And if this fails, we also want to print out a message for the user. So maybe it just failed to position, and we can also print out some values here that we used for the call, so we can find the mistake. So ticket, and also maybe the current stop loss. Current stop loss, and also the new stop loss. And also the current take profit value. String, current take profit. Yeah, maybe we break this up in a new line. Yeah. Okay, and of course, we also want to return in this case. So we don't process any new positions if something went wrong with this modified position call here. So let's clean up a little bit and let's compile. Okay, so this should be it for our update stop loss function here. We check if we want to have a trailing stop loss, if we have a stop loss at all. We loop through all open positions and we check if the position belongs to our EA. Then we get the type and the current stop loss and take profit. We calculate a new stop loss and then we check if the new stop loss is valid so we can modify the position. And now the last step we need to do is to just call this update position function, of course, in our onTick function of the expert advisor. So we can go to the onTick function. It's right here. And in this case, after we check for the breakouts, maybe we just call the update stop loss function. So write a comment here, update loss, and just update stop loss. And this should give us a trading stop loss for our expert advisor. So let's compile again. And now we can test this in the MetaTrader platform. Okay, so let's switch to MetaTrader here to the strategy tester. We have already selected our time range EA dynamic lots trailing stop loss EA here. We can set a period here. So let's just activate the trailing stop loss here. We have a stop loss of 100% of the range, no take profit. And let's just run a visual test here to see if our update stop loss function is working. So of course we do every tick. Maybe we just use the open price mode. So it's a little bit faster. Okay, we can see here we have calculated a range and now we will wait for the breakout. Short position, and here's our stop loss. And let's see if we trail the stop loss, if the price goes further into our direction. Yeah, we can see and also get the message here, position modified. And we also, of course, get the no new stop loss needed print statements here. Whenever we have a tick, of course, and we don't have a new low, for example. So, okay, let's just see. Okay, we get stopped out here. Let's take a look at another trade, maybe a buy position. So this is a large range, and now we can see we already modified the position a few times. And now if we go up, we can see we trail the stop loss. It's perfect. If we come back, the stop loss stays in place. This is a nice buy trade here, nice breakout. And of course, we close the position in the evening. Okay, so the update stop loss function works. What we maybe want to do is to just comment out the no new stop loss print statement, because every time we have a tick, of course, we will get this print statement. So let's go to the update stop loss function again. And here we can just comment this print statement out. So our log file is not flooded with this print statement here. And compile again. Okay, and now the last step, as I said in the beginning, is to test if a trailing stop loss actually improves our strategy from the beginning. So let's do this. Okay, so this will be a quick optimization. So we select the slow complete algorithm here. And for the optimization criteria, I will select the recovery factor. And let's switch to the inputs tab. Here we will use the dynamic lot size calculation we coded in the last video. We will risk $100 per trade. And of course, we want to optimize the stop loss value. So we start at 20, steps of 20, and all the way up to maybe 400. And we also want to switch the trading stop loss input from false to true to test if a trading stop loss does improve our strategy. And all the other inputs are fixed. So 90, 270, 1200 for the range, one breakout per range, and we trade on every weekday. Okay, so let's run this optimization. Should be very fast, yes. So here are the results. And if you take a look at the top result, this is our strategy here. We can see it has a fixed stop loss. And also the second result here. So the top results all use a fixed stop loss and don't have a trading stop loss. So a trading stop loss in our case does not improve the strategy. We can also take a look at this here in the 3D graph. So here on the left side are the combinations with a trading stop loss, and here on the right side the combinations with a fixed stop loss. Also, I found with other strategies that a trading stop loss does not improve the strategy in most cases, and I think there's a very simple reason why, and also why I don't like to exit my trades with a trading stop loss or even a normal stop loss. Don't get me wrong, I always use a stop loss, of course, but I like to use other exit criteria to exit my trades, and this improves the strategies in general. And I think there's a very simple reason for this. Maybe this is something I will talk in the next video. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe to my channel. If this video was helpful for you, would be nice if you just leave a like. And yeah, if you have questions about automated trading, coding in general, or strategy development, you can just write a comment and also write me through my website or via Telegram. Okay, so I will see you in one of the next videos. Bye.